Yo, yo, yo. I'm feeling really good this Monday, man. Some great things happened Sunday night for me. So I'm feeling very blessed and highly favored here with your favorite show, The Misfits, live with of course, the one and only The Misfits. Myself, Mykell Mathieu, with my guy, E. Lamb. E, what's the deal, Brody?
Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up, world? You know who it is. You're turned into the tightest tag team tandem this side of the universe. We are the Misfits, where we encourage you not to fit in, but find a way to stand out. We got an awesome show lined up. We got a little Rams, Chargers, SC. We're gonna sprinkle in some injuries. We got some pretty hot topics to discuss. But Kels, I'm not gonna steal your shine. What do we got lined up first?
Hey man, you know we have to start with what went down in Philadelphia. We both on this show last week were like, yo, this is going to be the coronation. This is going to be the Rams telling the rest of the NFL world the NFC belongs to us this year. Y'all gonna have to come through LA, SoFi to get to the Super Bowl. But the Eagles had different plans. The Eagles were like, hey, not so fast. Shout out to Lee Corso. They said, not so fast. And they were able to steal. It really felt like they stole a victory out of the hands
I
of
don't
the
know if
Rams.
they
Two,
stole.
two blocked field goals in the fourth quarter. That hasn't happened in 50 years, man. Like, it's crazy. But let's talk about it, E.
I don't know if they stole one. I think it was a perfect storm. In the first half, I had to watch the tape, but I think the Rams were playing a ton of cover 4, cover 2, that really gave that Eagles offense fits. Jared Verse did a great job of keeping containment in the run game. So the runs that were breaking for 50, 60, 70 yards in the first two matchups, they just weren't there. They were doing a phenomenal job rallying to the ball. They held Jalen Hurts in the Eagles offense to -1 passing yards in the first half. But Kels, the game ain't played in just one half, man.
Facts.
They came. Dallas Goedert, he did a little cover 2 beater, cover 4 beater, ran a little post for a 33-yard tub, and that just got the ball rolling. I was disappointed, man. I was disappointed. I was hoping my guys were able to pull it out, but just didn't happen, bro.
Yeah, and everything started off so well. Like the offense was hitting on all cylinders. That running game was looking powerful. So you can still take some positives away from it. One of it for me is that I think the Rams have the best wide receiver duo in the NFL with Puka and Devontae Adams, and they were able to do some really good things. Some of it for me, I just
know
feel
the Eagles got something to say.
Eagles got something to say too. But I just think that the Rams just were sitting on such a high horse that they kind of let up a little bit because they like, we beating them so bad that, hey, they was feeling themselves. And sometimes when you're feeling like a fighter in the ring and it's round 12 and, you did your thing the whole fight and you start dancing around, all it takes is one good haymaker and you lose that fight. And I think that's exactly what happened. The Rams played with their food.
You said the Rams were a pretty girl in the club off of Molly. They was feeling themselves.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what I didn't like? They went away from the run. I felt like they abandoned the run far too early. Like Blake Corum was a difference maker. Kyron Williams was a difference maker. Blake was at one point in the game getting like 8 yards a carry. Yeah. And then it was just like pass, play action, pass. Devontae Adams dropped a huge touchdown. Hit him right in the belly, and he dropped it. And this is gonna sound a little blasphemous. As awesome as Devontae Adams has been in his career, I've been rather disappointed, man, because he's been dropping a ton of opportunities. Now, granted, on Sunday, Matthew Stafford, he overthrew him. He led him too far.
Yeah, he missed some throws.
Matthew didn't play a great game, but there's a ton of blame to go around.
Yeah, and it's one of those you just got to take on the chin. Can you walk away from Philadelphia feeling better about yourself and saying, "Hey, I think we can beat them"? I think they got a little bit of that, but they got humbled there at the end. So it's going to give them that. I think this loss isn't that bad because I didn't want them to get too far ahead. It's like, hey, now this Eagle team is for real. You can't never let up against a team like that. So you have to finish this game. Matthew Stafford, after being hot in the first half, he had some misses there in the second half. And like I said, a team hasn't blocked 2 field goals in the game in 50 years. So sometime that broke clock is going to be right. And you saw that happen there in Philadelphia.
And you know what? Styles make fights, man. And sometimes no matter how much you train, you prepare, some people just have your number. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Sean McVay is 1-4 against the Eagles. That is very telling. It's like seeing Kyle Shanahan against Andy Reid. You already know how it's going to turn out, man. That's going to be a hell. You know what I'm saying? So as much as I thought the Rams had did enough to put themselves in a position to win that game, it just that fourth down at midfield when Bo Limmer whiffs on the block, Jordan Davis comes through, you know what I'm saying, hits Kyron Williams in the backfield. That, if you're not watching and paying attention, like those little plays begin to add up. And in hindsight, you're able to go back like, yo, this right here was a pivotal moment. Everybody's going to look at the last play of the game,
Jordan Davis
blocking the kick. He blocked 2 of them. Jordan Davis blocking the kicks. The game should have been over before then, but long before then.
But that has to be fixed. You got to fix that. The Eagles found a little leakage in their special teams, and they figured out what's crazy. What the Eagles were doing is exactly what the Denver Broncos did against the Colts, got penalized, and the Colts were able to go on and win that game. But it was still some stuff like of course
starts on the tush push.
That's terrible. But the worst part for the tush push for me is the fact that they blow the whistle so early. I don't know if you remember that play. I believe it was
when Kobe Turner stole the ball from Jalen.
Yeah, he took it out of his hands, and his body is still moving forward, but they blow the whistle there. It's like, come on, man. If the first down was not a touchdown, if his body is still moving forward, you have to hold the whistle because somebody might try to rip that thing out, and his knee was nowhere near the ground. But right
if he would have rolled off the pile, and jetted to the end zone, they're gonna call that a touchdown.
Yeah, touchdown.
This is the thing that makes me hate the Eagles, man. Okay. They're starting to get a lot of those Chief-esque breaks.
The Chief-esque stuff. They haven't deserved that. They don't deserve that type of love. You gotta make it to 3 straight Super Bowls, but they're getting it. What's crazy is the Saints tried to run a tush push and they call false start, so
which lets me know that you can see it, right?
Yeah.
And even crazier thing is the ball is supposed to be in front of the center's helmet.
Oh, yeah.
The center is literally lined up over the ball, and the guards are past the ball. So my thing is that's a neutral zone infraction. I need the refs to just call a game according to the rule book.
Call a game. Yeah, call a game how it's supposed to be called. Remember, if you have any takes, anything you want to bring up, Instagram, I'll go to YouTube, The Misfits Live. You can join in on the comments. We got people talking, saying that don't talk down on Devontae. He's on their fantasy team. He's on mine too.
He on mine. He put up numbers, but
he put up numbers. They said, you admitted, Mykell, I'm guessing about the Chiefs. Nah, the refs never helped the Chiefs. Have you not watched the Chiefs games? They do not help the Chiefs.
Hey, but speaking of which, that Sunday night, the NFL did a terrible job at scheduling. Nobody wanted to see the Chiefs versus the Giants Sunday night. What the heck were they thinking? The marquee game of Sunday was Rams
Eagles, yeah.
That
But
should have been the Sunday night game.
I guess they didn't want to give that up. But let's not go too far there first. Let's keep it LA. There's a team lost their first game of the year, but it's a team still in LA that is undefeated. And it's the Los Angeles Superchargers. The Chargers, man, they come back scoring 10 points in the fourth quarter. Justin Herbert makes an amazing throw to the back of the end zone to Keenan Allen. Dicker,
Across
the
his
kicker,
body, running.
yeah.
You can't just say he threw a touchdown. He's scrambling to the left and rolls across his body.
I'm just so used to Mahomes doing that on the practices I'll be watching.
And I was thinking, literally, when I saw that play, this dude had the audacity, i.e. you, to say Dak Prescott was a better quarterback than Justin Herbert.
Hey.
Mykell, I don't know if you realize you have some epic, terrible takes, dude.
Dak ain't playing with the number one defense.
Epic.
That Chargers defense is crazy.
Bro, he doesn't have the weapons that Dak has.
Hey, we thought that, but the way that these weapons are playing, Keenan Allen,
Justin Herbert.
You said the ghost of Keenan Allen. Nah, that's him in the flesh. He has shown up. He has made plays. Quentin Johnson, the last few years, that dude couldn't get open, couldn't catch the ball. Now when
he just wasn't catching nothing.
Hey, he got that stickum on his hand. He the receiver from.
The thing was, he was walking through Wuhan and he couldn't catch COVID. Now I don't know what's happened. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he sat down. You know, I told you he had to just do like on the Little Giants, envision it as a roll of toilet paper, and he catch it.
Facts.
So
he's
shout out to you, man.
He's making his plays. They just doing a good job. I'm coming into the season. I wasn't a big fan of the Denver Broncos. I don't believe the Bo Nix hype, and the offense has struggled these first 3 games, but they did jump out to a lead. But the Chargers found a way to close, and they have to do that. 3-0 for the first time since 2002. All 3 wins being divisional wins. If you look at their schedule, it's very cupcake as well. They got a patch in their season where it's about maybe 3 or 4 games where, you know, it can get a little tricky. But other than that, like if the Chargers take care of business, they got a chance to put themselves in a good spot. But when you have a defense led by Derwin James Jr., who had 12 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, a sack, like that dude is, shall I say, Hall of Fame worthy. The guy is a hell of a player and playing some good football, and they just got things going. But I can remember a few years back, they started off, they were 4-1. They were the talk of the AFC West.
You talking about when Brandon Staley was the coach?
Yeah,
this is the Jim Harbaugh effect. I told you. Okay. Year two is when Jim Harbaugh does his damage. That's when his teams, you know what I'm saying, really accelerate going to run. You thought I was a madman when I said y'all were not winning this division. You said I was a madman.
Oh, we still got. There's still
We're
a chance.
not winning. The Chiefs are not winning the division. This is the Chargers division to lose. This is theirs.
Yeah, but for them, even if they win, for me, they're like the Clippers. To be honest, I like the regular season. Good, you have a really good regular season. Good to see that. I need to see you win when it matters the most, because the only thing that I have in my memory of them when it matters most is a loss to Jacksonville after being up by $1 billion, and then lost last year to the Texans, and we see how the Texans stink this year. So kudos to the Chargers playing some really good football. Should get to 4-0 because they got the Giants coming up. I believe are they going to New York?
Sunday, man. You can't.
No, I know any given Sunday. I agree, but you know, you will hope that they be locked in and take care of business, especially after seeing the Chiefs smack them up on Sunday night. But hey,
it was not a smack, bro. That was a snoozer.
That defense is locking them up. But shout out to the
Chargers,
no
offense, bro.
Shout out to the Chargers. Malik Neighbors might do a little something, but shout out to the Chargers. They playing some great football. They deserve all the praise that they're getting. But remember, it is a long NFL season. It's a lot of football to go. They lose Najee Harris, which is big. I'm like, oh man, he's that other back. So let's figure out what they're going to do there. But you gotta like what you're seeing from those superchargers, man.
Yeah,
Doing
man.
some really good things.
It's,
You want to
Justin Herbert, man. Listen, I know
Yeah.
it's early in the season, but when you're completing 80% of your passes in the fourth quarter, that's MVP-esque.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert, another hot take. Justin Herbert is going to be in the MVP conversation by the end of the year.
That's not a hot take. He was near it last year because he only threw 2 interceptions. You just want to see him, continue to step on that gas. And teams have found a way to take away Lad McConkey, and Keenan Allen and Quentin Johnston have stepped up. Can they keep it going? That is going to be the talking point for the Chargers. Can these guys keep it going? Or if they have one bad game, will that send them down a rabbit hole? And that's what we have to see. But week 4, they got a favorable matchup. I can't wait to see what's going to happen there. We might as well keep it football, NFL here, and just run through some of these games. We already talked the Chiefs getting a victory, finally getting that dub. Tyquan Thornton making plays, defense looking great, but they got a big one versus the Ravens, who just lost tonight, Monday Night Football. Man,
who's the best 1 and 2 team in the league?
Huh?
Who's the best 1 and 2 team in the league?
Oh, the Kansas City Chiefs, no doubt about it. But we talking about 2-1. The Detroit Lions are looking like themselves again. Did you see the fullback dive to the option? I'm like, yo, who is playing Madden and creating these plays for them? Because their offense is ridiculous. And after that little snoozer against Green Bay, it looks like they're back, man. What did you think about that performance tonight that we saw?
Jahmyr Gibbs is still a problem. I think they got a very dynamic 1-2 punch, arguably the best backfield in the league.
Yeah,
with Jahmyr Gibbs. I love their offense, man. They got a complete offense. They got their offensive line is stout. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Sam Laporta, and then you got Sonic and Knuckles in the backfield. It's all about Jared Goff. If Jared Goff does enough to distribute the ball, you can't stop him. You cannot stop him.
And I'm happy to see Aiden Hutchinson is back, making plays, sacks, stripping Derrick Henry. Something about the Ravens just look like they just don't look like they have enough to,
they gotta make Zay Flowers the focal point of that offense. Dude was wide open, and Lamar downfield, 40 yards downfield, and for some odd reason Lamar didn't throw him the ball. You gotta find a way to get Zay Flowers the ball, especially in space.
Yeah,
he's a quicker Wes Welker. He's a quicker Julian Edelman. Give him the ball. Good things happen when they give him the ball.
The only issue The only issue I believe is that teams can focus on him. When you think of Edelman and guys like that, you had Gronk and you had Moss for Welker, to where Mark Andrews finally had a big game. But now let's see if he can continue that to make teams have to give him a little more focus, and that opens things up for Zay Flowers there.
But you got Isaiah Likely getting ready to come back, and as much as he's not a household name yet, I think he's more athletic and he's more dynamic at the tight end position than Mark Andrews at this point.
I agree.
You got to start phasing out these aging stars. Mark Andrews is Mark Andrews. I get what he has done for that organization, but you got to start turning the page and perhaps look at splitting that timeshare between he and Isaiah Likely, because I think Isaiah is far more explosive.
Yeah. And damn it, it's that time. Lamar, you on the spotlight, man. Like, you got MVPs, you got numbers, you got the highlight plays. It's about, like Jamin said, it's about getting them W's and getting to the big game. Like, that's what you're missing from your legacy, from your resume. It's time for Lamar to take that step. It looked like Josh Allen has taken that step forward to where you like, yo, could he possibly be the best guy in the league? It's time for Lamar to fully take that and, try to challenge Josh, try to challenge Pat Mahomes, because if he doesn't take that step forward, he's just a guy who won MVPs and got great highlights, but don't got no chips, and that's what it's all about. So Lamar Jackson, it is on you to take this Ravens to the next spot. But let's run through this week 3 real quick. A big loser of the week, the Green Bay Packers. They went into Cleveland, stunk it up, lose their first game of the season. That Browns defense is crazy.
I was about to say, let's not discredit that Browns defense.
Yeah, that Browns defense.
Miles Garrett, those Mason Graham, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those 2 D tackles,
Yeah,
you got to pay attention to them now.
No, yeah, Denzel Ward like that at a DB, like their defense is crazy, but they got, their offense got to get it together. But they pick up a big win. Shout out to the Colts, man. I picked them to win, like a lot of people, but 41 points. Daniel Jones, you said Justin Herbert MVP race. My boy Daniel Jones, I know it's the first 4 weeks, but his numbers look better than Josh Allen's numbers.
You know what they calling him now, right?
What they calling him?
Indiana Jones.
Oh, that's hard. He got to trademark that, Indiana Jones, and you got Jonathan Taylor going crazy. Their defense is solid. Like, shout out to Daniel Jones, because I was sending a lot of hate, but he's shutting me up.
But you're just a bona fide hater, though.
Yeah, my hating is greatness. I'm gonna have to bring back the hit up Snink Meaner and those guys and bring back the crew. But that's just what it is. The Vikings, they pick up a big win. Carson Wentz, 48 points. I didn't see that coming. 48-10 over the Bengals. Steelers, Aaron Rodgers. He passes Brett Favre for most touchdowns in his career. They knock off the Patriots. They are in first place in that division so far. The Buccaneers escape the Jets.
Now, that was a crazy, what was it, 40 seconds, 1 minute?
Yeah, that was
I was like, what the heck? The Jets blocked the field goal, take it to the house, take the lead, and Baker Mayfield said, nah, bro, I'm not finna lose this game. Not at home.
Yeah.
Not in these jerseys.
And speaking of jerseys, I'm gonna say it right now. I love the Chargers and the powder blues, but then
those two
jerseys.
And the 94 49er joints.
Yeah, I do. I like those.
Those are the top 3 jerseys in the league.
Yeah, I like those. But man, seeing their orange sickle jerseys, they deserve to win in those. Commanders knock off the Raiders, even without Jaden Daniels. Raiders. What are they, Elam? What do we call them?
Ooh, cheese.
Panthers 30-0. I picked them to win. I didn't expect it to look like that. So shout out to them. The Jacksonville Jaguars pick up another win. Who would have known that the Texans will be 0-3 to start the season? Which
CJ Stroud looked like a one-hit wonder, bro.
Man, CJ Stroud looking like BJ Armstrong, but not on the Bulls, on the Hornets.
Ooh.
So that's tough. Seahawks, they smack up the Saints. Of course, your Niners pick up a big win, but they lose Nick Bosa. How big of a loss is that for the 3-0 49ers?
You know what? First and foremost, it begs the question, what the heck is going down in San Francisco where all these dudes are getting injured? Like, everybody's injured. Wide receivers, D lineman, O lineman, everybody's injured. Even the mascot, I think, pulled a hamstring, at the game.
I think producer Ben, he out there too. He said he hurt himself sharpening a pencil. I said, man, what?
I think, I don't know if, so there's a lot of conspiracy theories running around. And, I love me a good conspiracy theory that where they built the stadium is on the gravesite of some native and indigenous, tribes. And so that land is cursed. But, Nick Bosa being out, hot take, Nick Bosa had one good year. Last year, he only had 9 sacks. It's not like he's been, a world beater. Outside of that year that he won a defensive player of the year, I think he's been kind of like average, mediocre. Now, granted, he's warranted a ton of double teams. He's gotten a lot of pressures. But when it comes time to like big moments in big games, Nick Bosa frequently does bonehead things, that cost the 49ers game. So
on and off the field.
man, listen. So I think moving forward, this D line is gonna have to play with discipline. So we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. As long as they got 54, they'll be all right.
Okay, hey, we'll see. So you mentioned the natives under there. That means the Chiefs got to come and get it right, baby. So hopefully they'll be there this February. But we got to talk about, before we switch gears, we got to talk about former Trojan, former Heisman winner Caleb Williams. Took care of business at home. 4 tubs, 298 yards. Does this mean that has he figured something out, or is it just the Cowboys defense?
There are 2 JV teams in the NFL.
Okay.
One plays in Las Vegas, the other plays in Dallas.
Okay.
Listen, if Caleb could go against that defense every week, he'd look amazing.
Yeah.
The Cowboys stink, bro. Like, they are a disappointment. They are a travesty. They are an abomination to the game of football. That's not even defense. They're better off, playing 2-hand tag or flag football or something like that. I think they'd have a better chance at playing some defense. But that on Sunday, I'd be embarrassed, man.
Yeah, they were doing flea flickers and you're just having a good old time. And Caleb is like, oh, I wish every defense was like this. I might win me an MVP sometime soon.
I think Caleb took off his nail polish. I think that might have helped him out just a little bit. I don't know.
And the chat is saying Cowboys aren't even a JV team, and they might be right. That defense is clearly a frost soft mix right there, a little freshman sophomore. But we'll see. See if Caleb can keep it going. But to keep it USC and to keep it on the gridiron, we were in the building on Saturday at the Coliseum, and we watched the Trojans knock off Michigan State 45-31. My guy almost predicted the score exactly
to
the T. That secondary that gave up that late touchdown, but it's all about the offense, man. The offense has been humming. Jaden Mayava, his numbers so far is better than the first 4 games of Caleb Williams' Heisman season. Let me bring these numbers up because it's very impressive. So Caleb's stats through 4 games was 1,000 yards, 1,054 yards, 9 touchdowns passing, 2 rushing touchdowns. Jaden Mayava, 1,223 yards, 9 passing touchdowns, 4 rushing touchdowns. The guy is just being the point guard. If you got me on social, I'm Mykell the PG. He is just being a point guard out there. He's not doing anything extra. He's not trying to force anything. He's like, hey, I got Eli Sanders with speed out of the backfield. Wayman Jordan, a hell of a talent out of the backfield. Mykell Lemon, my tight end group is nice and fast. I'm just giving them the ball in space and letting them make plays. And sometimes that's all you need to do to be successful. He's doing the simple stuff that we always wish Caleb would do by just getting rid of the ball and letting your playmakers play make. And that's why I think this offense is looking like one of the better offenses that Lincoln Riley has had at USC. Have they played a great test yet? No. But Michigan State came in with the top 10 defense stopping the run, but that run game and the O-line, they look tough, man.
You know what? It's crazy because I don't think Jaden is even being mentioned in those Heisman circles because he doesn't have those shock plays, those wild plays where he's breaking 2 tackles, scrambling, throwing across his body. A lot of the Heisman hype is really highlights, right? And Jaden is not giving you a ton of highlights. He's getting the ball out, to all the weapons that he has around him.
Yeah.
When you have Wayman Jordan, when you have Mykell Lemon, Lake McCree, Jacoby Lane, Eli Sanders, it's not really much you have to do. Give them the ball and get out the way. Do I think he's having a better year than Caleb Williams? Yes. Is he better than Caleb? No. But I also wasn't all that high on Caleb Williams. I'm looking like a freaking prophet. But I gotta give a lot of credit to this offensive line, man. They're very multiple with what they can do. They're extremely athletic, and Lincoln Riley is putting everybody in position to have success. And when Lincoln is clicking on offense, there's really not much you can do. I haven't seen a Lincoln Riley offense look this dynamic since he was at Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, and it all for me. It starts in the backfield with the speed they have, but also just the trenches. You know, I asked him a question about the speed. Like, is this the fastest speed that you have all around in your tight end group, receiving group, running backs? He's like, I want to talk about the trenches because the way that they're protecting my QB, opening these holes for my running game, and on the opposite side, the defensive line is playing really well. I think they're top. Are they already past what they had in sacks last season in their first 4 games? So they're doing a lot of good things. I think we're going to learn a lot about them this week against Illinois, who just got smacked up by Indiana, went from the number 9 seed ranked team to the 23rd. So we're going to learn from them to see, because they're going to try to bounce back, but SC is going to be there. But if Jaden Mayava goes there and he has a 3 touchdown performance, near 300 yards, and the offense looks dynamite again, put this down now, jot it down. He is going to be on Heisman watch because it's Southern Cal, because there'll be 5-0. He's putting up the numbers that's better than Caleb Williams, and he's going to have a primetime matchup against Michigan that if he take care of business there, then it's really going to go crazy. Put it down. Jaden Mayava, put him on your Heisman watch list.
On offense. You got the wrong player on offense. Name me a game this year that Mykell Lemon hasn't had 100 yards.
No, he's been impressive.
Mykell Lemon is a difference maker for this Trojan offense.
Of course.
Get him the ball, whether it's in space, 1-on-1, across the middle. The dude is he's a game breaker. I keep telling everybody, he reminds me of Amon-Ra St. Brown, a very diminutive, quick, tough runner. You know what I'm saying? You get the ball in his hands, he's going to make something happen, and he's not going down easily. I love seeing that, you know what I'm saying, in a wide receiver. But I got to give my guys on defense, Cameron Fountain, Anthony Lucas, Braylon Shelby. Like, these dudes are just terrorizing opposing backfields, tackles for loss, sacks. I want to say Ant Lucas had 2 sacks all of last year. He's got like 4 or 5 now. Braylon Shelby, I think he had 2 on Saturday. Like, these dudes are getting better and better with more reps, man. So, as much as I want to give the offense its praise, it's just dues. Like, Lincoln is right, man. The game is coming down to the trenches. On offense, it's the offensive line. On defense is what those big uglies up front are doing that's turning the tides for the Trojans, man.
And what's going to be key for them to keep this up, because I expect the offense to continue to be great. I expect that front on defense to do their thing. That secondary has to figure it out. They allow some big, easy touchdown throws for Michigan State to start the game and to ruin Eric's perfect prediction. So they're going to have to figure that out. But this offense is going to give them a chance in every game, and I'm excited to see it. I'm on the Jaden Mayava bandwagon. I jumped off of the Arch Manning bandwagon, Elam. I jumped onto the Jaden Mayava.
I don't even know why you were on it to begin with. That name, see, you caught up in those Instagram reels and last names, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
I wanted to give him some extra energy over there. You see, he getting a little swagger back, though. Arch Manning gets some swagger back. But, we got to see him do it against some better teams than Sam Houston State. But shout out to the Trojans, man. UCLA is looking terrible. SC is looking like the real deal, baby. So let's keep it LA a little more. We got to give a shout out to the Dodgers, who has played some better baseball here down the stretch.
Question. Are the Dodgers going to the playoffs?
Hey, I don't know. There's still a chance they don't. I think they will.
They punched their ticket. They're going to the playoffs.
They will at least be
Los Angeles. Los Angeles is going to be represented in the game of baseball.
You're right.
Because that team in Orange County, they're not making it anytime soon. And I keep telling you this. You can celebrate, sweeping the freeway series all you want.
Hang a banner
for that. But when it comes time to playoff baseball, I keep trying to tell you, it's gonna be
Hey,
at Chavez Ravine.
I was just gonna tell you, you ruined my surprise. We having our celebration for the Dodgers sweep this weekend. I was gonna invite you, but you
Okay,
want to
okay.
throw shade. I'm gonna have to tell my angels and angelettes that we can't involve you
Angelette,
Dodgers. Uh,
Angelette.
yeah, call them angelettes. But man, shout out to the Dodgers who they're getting closer, but they got to make some things happen. They got 2 series. They're not going to be easy because the Diamondbacks are making a charge, trying to secure a wild card spot. Then they finish up with the Seattle Mariners, who's trying to win that division there in the AL West. Elam, how are you feeling just about the end for the Dodgers? Mookie's looking much better, doing his thing, but they're dealing with injury. Will Smith has the hairline fracture, and they're pitching. They're trying to put everything together, but will it be enough is the question for your Dodgers.
You know what? I'm more worried about this Will Smith injury than anything. I want to say
Okay.
the backup catcher is Dalton Rushing, a prospect that they called up out of necessity. You're not
Mm-hmm.
gonna replace a perennial all-star. I think Will Smith is the best catcher in the game
Wow.
right now.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
What are you talking about?
That man in Seattle that hit 53
That's
on.
the best. That's the best bet behind the plate.
Okay.
I'm talking about
Defensive.
all around. I'm talking all around.
Okay.
I'm talking all around. And if you don't, we
I don't
can.
think we can let the chat is saying we can't let this slide.
I mean, if you disagree,
I
if you
disagree
disagree, we can run the fade. It's whatever,
with
you
it.
know. But I am worried a little bit. The bullpen
Okay.
is pool cheese, man. You know what I'm saying? They are taxed. There are too many games where I see, we have a lead. The starter has been, lights out. We get to the 7th inning, 8th inning, 9th inning, and it's like, dude, they just give up cheek. So do I think the Dodgers can turn it around? Anything is possible. Will they turn it around? I'm highly skeptical. I think it's a first round exit for the Dodgers, man. I want to be surprised. I would love to go to another championship parade. Being out on the field, was awesome. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But I just don't see it happening this year.
Yeah, and they gotta figure it out. People in the chat are saying some catcher named Patrick Bailey. I think he plays for that team in San Francisco. I don't know who he is, but people are saying he may be better than Will Smith. But nah, for the Dodgers, man.
Giants, man, I'm not worried about nothing that he's talking about.
But with the Dodgers, you see Mookie catching fire, looking like himself. I think that's a big plus for them as they finish the season here. Even before the season, people predicted could they break the record of wins, and when it started a little slower, I saw a lot of 2001 Lakers in them, a team that started slow, then picked it up late, and then they went crazy and 15-1 in the playoffs. They won a championship. So I think the Dodgers might have some of that in them, but it's going to be up to the bullpen. Who can step up for which starter can they move to the bullpen that can help them? But the Dodgers have an opportunity. Let's see if they can make it back to back, man. But let's talk about it. We got to talk about hoop because we're getting close. We're like less than 30 days away from basketball, Elam, which is crazy. But let's chime in on Kawhi Leonard. We know all the mess that Kawhi Leonard has brought these Los Angeles Clippers through. First, you get him. He wants you to trade all your picks and your star young guy for PG. It didn't work out. He hasn't brought a championship yet to the Clippers, even though in 2020 some people thought that was their prime season to do so with the healthy PG, Kawhi in that bunch, and it didn't happen. Now what's going on with aspiration, where he might get his contract voided? The team is looking very sketchy. Elam, I gotta ask, is this one of the worst signings in NBA history after all of this that has happened with no not even a trip to the NBA Finals for a guy who came off of winning a championship before he joined the Clippers.
It's only one of the worst signings because they got caught. Listen to me. If you think that Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers, this is the only instance where something like this has happened, listen, I got beachfront property. I got a condo to sell you in Watts on 103rd and Corrosis. This happens more often than not. People are just better at covering their tracks. I am absolutely so glad the Lakers dodged this bullet because he was going to go to the Lakers.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. If you think I'm capping, go check my Twitter, do the history, like go through my history. I was the first person to talk about Kawhi Leonard going to the Clippers. After he had met with Magic, a little bird told me, hey, Jerry West just got off the phone with Uncle Dennis. He's getting ready to meet with the Clippers. No, I tweeted it out. I only had like 20 followers at the time. Nobody believed me. But then when he went to the Clippers, I had a few people circle back like, oh, dang, like you really know. I'm like, I'm not going to tell you how I know, but just know that I know.
Hey, I knew something was happening because I seen Russ and them in San Diego. I was out there at the same time, and he was like, I ain't going to be with OKC. I said, what? So I was like, some stuff is about to happen. But just thinking about Kawhi, man, just when you saw that move being made after him winning in Toronto with Paul George coming, what we thought about Paul George at that time, if you would have told me in 2025, hey, that team, they won't even be playing with each other anymore, pause, and they won't even have a finals appearance, I would have said, nah, not that team. They had Patrick Beverly, they had who else they have on that team? They had they had Zoo, they had Montrezl Harrell, they had a squad. And the fact that they couldn't even get a finals appearance, and a lot of it is because of Kawhi's health. I will say to you, like, if it's not one of the worst signings, it's one of the most disappointing signings that you've ever seen. And I always felt that he should have stayed in Toronto anyway. It made no sense for him to leave the team that just won, that was going to be the favorites the next year, to come to the Clippers. But we're going to see what's going to happen with this whole entire thing.
The Clippers got what they deserve, bro.
Okay.
When you come into my house and you cover up championship banners, when you cover up champion Hall of Fame jerseys, when you cover up the Sparks jerseys and retired Sparks jerseys, you get what you deserve. You don't deserve nothing. You don't deserve anything. I'm glad that they got a new arena with all the fancy bells and whistles, and that's a place that all the Clipper tiers can just fill up the lower bowl and they can go swim in it. The Clippers got exactly what they deserve, man. Absolutely nothing. So I'm glad they signed Kawhi. I'm glad they stole him from the Lakers. I'm glad all this stuff is coming out because it's about to get really raw for the Clippers. They're getting ready to lose a few first-round picks. They're going to be fine. I won't be surprised if Kawhi Leonard, his contract is voided.
Yep.
But then watch what Kawhi does. Watch what Kawhi does.
Yeah, because where would he go? I don't think he wants to play with the Lakers because LeBron. But where will he go? That if that does happen, that's going to be so crazy. I'll have to check my history to see what's going on. But I don't know if anybody's contract been ever voided like that, and the team still having to keep it on the salary cap. But shout out to the chat room going up. Somebody said they got a mansion on 50th and Fig. You are a dark person and sick person at that. You having too much fun over there on Fig. But let's keep it hoops. You know, we don't have to talk. We're gonna talk a little bit of LA with this, but the big news coming out today in the NBA, the Houston Rockets were it team for a lot of people who were like, yo, they added KD. Amen Thompson is going to take that next step. But what does Fred VanVleet's injury mean to the Rockets? He's out for the year, towards ACL. For people who don't know, a lot of these teams get together. And the players, kind of like they do in football, the quarterbacks get with their receivers early before training camp and stuff to get some extra work in. NBA teams do the same too, where players meet up. The Rockets did it in the Bahamas. That's where he was injured and tore his ACL. And now they are going to be without a star guard. So what does this mean, Elam, for the Rockets with the loss of Fred VanVleet?
You go from being a championship contender to making the playoffs. I think they still gonna play gritty defense, but without Fred VanVleet, man, I really don't see a facilitator. Like maybe you run the offense through KD, but I don't think that's really gonna work. Maybe
they got Reed Shepard. They got Reed Shepard over there, like top 3 overall pick.
But maybe are you getting ready to trust? Are you getting ready to trust the keys to the car, to the kingdom, to a rookie?
Hey, Rajon Rondo did it with the Celtics in 2008.
He's not.
I know he ain't Rajon, but hey, Rajon wasn't the 3rd overall pick, so they saw something from him that was special. He's very VanVleet-like with his play style, so I don't know.
I don't know, man. I think they would be better suited running it through a man, just to facilitate maybe KD. Yeah. But like I said, I don't think they have, or Jabari. You know what I'm saying? Jabari, what is it? Jabari Parker or Jabari Smith?
Jabari Smith?
Yeah.
The big? Okay, the 4?
Smith, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, give him an opportunity to facilitate, but it's going to have to be one of those 3, man.
You might have to tell Sangoon, hey, we need you on your Jokic, my boy. You can play make. You got some skills out there. Maybe you need to be on your Jokic, but I want to see what Reed Shepard could do, because coming out of college, it was a lot of praise for him. He lit it up in the G League. He's a guy that can score, can shoot it, and he can play make a little bit. So it's going to be very interesting to see what he's able to do. I know a lot of people out there were screaming, including myself. I'm like, yo, they can go and get Russ. But after looking at the details of their money that they have, they only got $1.5 million. They're not going to be able to sign anyone until December 15th. Hell, they can't even really make a trade until December 15th, because the guys that they can trade are the guys that they want on the team. So they're going to have to figure it out early. But I want to see if they can give Reed Shepard a chance. He's a Kentucky guy, UK guy. So maybe he might have that. Maybe he might be the guy to help make things happen.
What? I'm kind of excited. I'm not excited that Fred got injured, but I'm excited in the sense that there is immense value in somebody who can facilitate, like a true point guard.
No, yeah,
if you don't have a real point guard in this modern NBA, that's very problematic. So as much as everybody's like, oh, you got to be able to play defense and shoot threes, even more than that, if you're a guard and you can handle and you could, put people in position,
somebody got to initiate.
Like there's still a market for, true point guards.
So my thoughts, hey, maybe we got to wait till December 15th, right? We know a team that's out there in LA, and that purple and gold, they got a guard that wants to get paid a lot of money. A lot of people screaming in LA, hey, that he don't deserve to be paid 30 plus million a year. Could you possibly see the Rockets trying to go and acquire Austin Reeves to come and play that point guard for them? I don't know what they would have to give up, but is that a possibility for them if they, are truly, because you got KD there, you got to be thinking championship. So if you need to make that move,
in order for them to get Austin Reeves, they'd have to give up Jabari, just in order for salaries to match. And I know the Lakers will want to get somebody younger. Mm-hmm. It's a matter of, is Houston willing to come off of Jabari? Jabari is going to be a star in this league. I don't know if the Lakers are willing to get rid of Austin Reeves, because they're trying to get Andrew Wiggins, and in order to get him, they're gonna have to give up Rui. And so, do you give up Rui and Austin Reeves and try to go get Wiggs and Jabari?
That might be an
I don't know if that necessarily moves the needle much, The Lakers aren't winning another championship anytime soon. They're not going to win one until LeBron comes off the books. So
of course,
I'm interested to see like what moves they can make and do make, especially after the December 15th. You know what I'm saying? Deadline to where
they can start moving
they can get rid of like Jackson and Austin and we'll see. But I don't know, man. That's a good question. It's a good hypothetical. I think it would help the Rockets though, but you're gonna have to give up Jabari.
And for the he gives the Lakers an athletic wing that can do some things with the Rockets. Well, he's younger than Austin Reeves as well. Because Lakers, it's gonna really matter to where the Lakers are at that point of the season and where the Rockets are. If the Lakers are looking like, man, they just not gonna do it. They really need to start thinking about what's next. That's when you could think about, hey, maybe we can move Austin to make this happen. In the Rockets, if they're not playing as good and they really need to make a big splash, that might be somewhere to look. But if the Rockets are balling, they like, hey, Reed figured it out. We figured it out over here. We're going to be all right. And if the Lakers, of course, look like a true championship contender, I don't think it's going to happen. But, man, it will be a move. What's up? What you got?
Nah, I got to give a shout-out to Soul to Souls in the chat. You know what I'm saying? I guess I guess she said something silly that made him laugh. So
it was the matching on 50th and Fig. I guess they must have been over there. And if you got a matching over there, you thinking about some treacherous things. So shout out to them. But shout out to everybody who's tapping in, man. We having a good time tonight. The Misfits Live, we appreciate you. YouTube. Remember, you can always hit us up. The Misfits Live. Hit us up in the comments. What you thinking about what's going on, what we talking about? Because I know it sounds great, and I know you think it sounds great as well, too. So come in and join in and be a part of the show. We went through the NFL. You got some big games. Are there any games in college football this week that you're really looking at?
Illinois versus SC. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's
huge.
Illinois got smacked up by Indiana. Here comes the Trojans. They're looking to get some get back, get on the right track. USC is going to have to prove, like, no, we're not just beating up on cupcakes. Like, we can beat you too. So, yeah, I think that's the game of the week for me.
Yeah. And shout out to Notre Dame. They got their first dub last week. Oklahoma knocked off Auburn at home. Florida State got back to it. Oregon got a win. Miami knocked off Florida at home. But this week, that Oregon Penn State game is going to be crazy. So I'm ready to watch that game. That's going to be big time. LSU, Ole Miss, Georgia, Alabama. It's going to be a lot of great college football. I can't wait to tap in. If you're a football fan, I know you're going to be watching it with us. But let's move along because we got some very important
things. Zeus Moran says 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, early game Saturday. Let's go Trojans. That's right.
Man, which is crazy. Hey, that 8 p.m. and 9 a.m. is crazy. 8 p.m. is really crazy. It was media members falling asleep in the building.
Hey, so what's funny is I'm on the field taking pictures, right? Mykell texts me a picture of this dude in the press box, slumped, knocked out, drooling the whole nine. It was like one of the staffers had to come by and she asked, like, "Are you okay? Do you need medical attention?" You know, it was
like, nah.
The crazy part is I was getting ready to fall asleep, especially when old boy from Michigan State hurt his neck. I'm just laying there like, oh my gosh, like I'm praying because I want the kid to be, all right.
All right,
but I'm like, this is killing me.
I never want to see that again, NCAA. 8 p.m. football games is the worst idea to have. It's just as bad as 9 a.m. football games. So get it together, NCAA. But we got to talk about some real business right now. Because as you do know, this show is more, huh?
I said, what? We got a sponsor?
Oh, no. We'll talk about that a little later. We talk about more than just sports here with the Misfits live. We talk about life. We talk about everything, entertainment, whatever you need. We got you covered. We can be your therapist if need be. This is the show to tune in. But, we like to talk about what's real and freedoms and things like that. And this Jimmy Kimmel situation, We still trying to see what's going on. You know, his words that he said about the president, Charlie Kirk. What's more powerful, man? Is it the dollar or Constitution? My answer changes every day, Elam. And I know you super tapped in to things like this. So I know you're gonna have some incredible things to say. What's your thoughts, man?
What's more powerful, the dollar or the Constitution? I mean, I think it's a no-brainer. I think it's a no-brainer.
Okay.
And the reason why I say it's a no-brainer is because, and this is gonna be controversial. Watch the numbers like just plummet as soon as I say this. You can't have our economic system of capitalism without racism. And racism is so ingrained and intertwined into American culture, into the Constitution. You just got to look at the boycott that's happened in the past week and see that the dollar, the Constitution don't mean nothing anymore, especially, you know, with this administration, when you can get a president to influence the FCC, to influence commerce, to strip people's, you know, constitutional rights, you know, away. You got to say the dollar is more important. And it wasn't until people began to, you know, cancel their subscriptions that caused Sinclair, ABC,
even have a discussion.
You know, everybody to say, all right, let's hold on, let's press pause.
Mm-hmm.
But
so just to jump in here,
we got
the only one pressing pause here is ABC corporate. Sinclair and Nexstar are not ABC. Now, when you go to your beat little, you know, news station in tech that says ABC 27, that's not owned by ABC. It's owned by one of those two or some other media affiliate, Gray Media. You can name like a dozen of them. Now, there's a huge difference here. ABC only owns like maybe 11 or 10 stations across the country. Think big markets, right? New York, LA, Dallas, Chicago, Philadelphia. Exactly, right? Top 10. San Francisco is one as well. Everything else isn't them, and that applies to everybody. That's CBS, NBC, right? They only own about a dozen or so, give or take. And so the airing schedule for what you see for Sinclair and Nexstar is not the same what you see for ABC. They control their own little local broadcast. And so even though ABC is saying we're going to put, you know, Jimmy Kimmel back on the air, Sinclair is saying, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So Nexstar said nothing yet. They've been completely silent, so we don't know what they're going to do. But Sinclair has already said, tomorrow we are not going to air Jimmy Kimmel. There will be every local station will have some local programming instead, but there will not be Jimmy Kimmel on the air at any Sinclair ABC affiliate.
And I'm going to tell you why this is going to hurt their bottom line, because now people are going to resubscribe so that they can hop on a streaming a DSP, right, and be able to stream Jimmy Kimmel. Like if it's not on my local affiliate, all right, cool. Where can I find it? I can hop online.
I need that somewhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna be able to find it somewhere. So it's going to get to a watershed moment to where you know, the local affiliates are going to have to re-air Jimmy Kimmel. But I love what this is doing for the democracy, right? Like regardless of which side of the coin or which, you know, political party you have an affinity towards, I don't care about that. What I do care about is that there are discussions being had. Like today I went to work, people were asking me, you know, well, what's going on? We know you're a journalist, blah, 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 blah. And I'm, you know, trying to explain the situation. And just the amount of conversation that is being had, I think it's encouraging, right?
Yeah, because it's about time for that. It's about time for that, because this whole, I knew stuff was this when you knew the Constitution and stuff wasn't hitting the same when all of this cancel culture thing became a thing. The fact that people were losing their jobs and like ruining.
No. So there's a huge difference here. See this and the CBS merger, which is your example of this. That is the government stepping in and dictating what you can and cannot air on what should be a public broadcasting way. Now, cancel culture has its own problems, but you can argue cancel culture, historically speaking, is someone paying for their actions, right? Like that's the whole everyone with the whole Kirk crap is making. Freedom of speech is not freedom of permission to or freedom of consequence.
Yeah.
Freedom of consequence.
Now this is different because you have the government saying here's consequence, and that's not what this should be, right? The FCC should be an impartial, governing body. It works the same way theoretically, but broadcast board that what Jerome Powell does with the federal commission.
Yeah, I'm just saying that cancel culture was the start of it. That you can see that things can get a little weird. The fact that I could tweet something online and I lose everything, to where that's just my thought. I have this freedom to be able to say this. Of course, if it's hate speech or something crazy like that, I understand. But the fact if you mention a certain name a certain way, that they will come and shut you down, that's a problem. It feels like I don't have the true freedom to say truly what I want to say now, and that's where I think a big issue occurs.
But see, listen, the First Amendment doesn't guarantee you the right to just spew whatever it is that you want to say.
Oh, of course, yeah.
The First Amendment is there as a provision, right? As a right for you to critique the government, right? That's what it's intended for. A lot of people feel like, oh, well, I can say whatever I want. It's my freedom of speech. You got it misconstrued. You got it twisted.
Yeah.
It's your ability to critique the government. That's why the First Amendment exists. The Second Amendment exists to protect the First Amendment, right? All the constitutional amendments build off of one another, with the foundation being the freedom of speech to critique the government. I want to say it's the right to assembly.
Hey, you can't even critique. You can't even critique, rest in peace to the man, but Charlie Kirk. And this is where this whole situation is coming from. And I just seen, I had a post, my same video I put on Instagram. It's on the Misfits page. You'll check it out, about the whole situation where I was talking about guns. And this is the big issue. This is how his life was lost, was by a gun. On TikTok, they shut it down. They shut me down for a week. Like, you can't have conversations like that. Put me in jail. And I'm just like, damn, like, I didn't even go that crazy. I just stated the obvious that, a gun killed Charlie Kirk. A gun killed a student in a school in Colorado. And that's where the story is, for me at least, coming from where we come from. And we know what guns has done to our community. But you get shut down. So it's like, what can I really talk about? I can't critique a person, a name, and that can get you banned. And that's where it's like very murky. And that's why I think it's great that we're having this situation with Jimmy Kimmel being discussed, because it's like, what's the freedom? What are we allowed to do?
So there's not much that I can say that I liked about Charlie Kirk's rhetoric, right? There's not much that I can say that I'm like, I enjoyed this, I like this.
Yeah, same.
But I did like
some stuff
about what he would do is he would amplify the voices of his political opponents. Now, I thought it was very disingenuous for somebody with all this life experience, for someone who has had the ability to become well-versed in various topics, craft their talking points, right? And lead people down a path of argument or a line of questioning to where I could hop on script. I never saw Charlie Kirk, debate somebody his age. I never saw him really debate experts in particular.
Anyone on his level or above, he never debated with.
But
it's not that y'all didn't see him debate it. He didn't post it. Big difference.
Oh, okay.
I
If you want to give Kirk credit for anything, he's one of the original guys that figured out how to clip farm on social media and craft his narrative real early. Facts. He was really good at that. He's almost the original political pioneer of this, because he got so good at it and he made a whole career out of it. And now we have the president mourning him at this bullshit ceremony in Arizona.
The scary thing, now that he is no longer with us, there is a name that is getting ready to fill that void, that vacuum.
He is crazy.
Fuentes. If you don't know who he is, I highly suggest that you Google him,
even
listen
for
to some of his stuff. He's coming.
Even for a guy like Nick Fuentes, I just get the vibe for him. Like, I'm gonna play this role and I'm
It's
gonna
not a
play
role.
it. It's
It's
so
not a
no,
role.
some of it I do think that's just what he believed, but he realized, probably learning from Charlie Kirk, is that I want to push this and magnify it even more, so that look what it did for Charlie Kirk. I didn't know much about him before all of this. I would just see videos pop up and I would see the debates and be like, who is this dude? But I didn't really take a deep dive because, either party side I'm not really rocking with. You know what I'm saying? Only party I rock with is the Black Panther Party. But, that's just what it is. But to see it, I just think that people know how to play the game and they're doing their parts and they know what's allowed.
About it, though.
Have you guys watched the most recent South Park episode when they're talking about if you're provocative enough, it's just to make your bag?
No.
That's all this is.
Okay.
That's all. It's if you're provocative enough on the internet, you will inevitably make your bag, because conspiracy right now sells beyond any measure.
Yeah.
And TikTok is eating it up.
I'm glad you said that, producer Ben, because I have seen about 50 different conspiracy theories about how he's died. It was somebody behind him. It was somebody,
some of it is crazy.
To the left of him, like they said this dude, his bone density was able to stop a 30-06. That's crazy to me. Like, I was born during the day, just not yesterday. You feel me? As somebody who has gone to combat, I have been able to see what bullets do to flesh. I've never met anybody with any type of bone structure that was stopping a 2.23 or a 7.62 round. That's not happening. And I'm telling you, if you think you have bones to stop a 30-06, like, you are truly delirious, because everything that has been coming, like, from the FBI, it just reeks. It reeks of conspiracy theory. It reeks of the FBI or the powers that be cleaning up something. It just does not make sense.
It's almost like the director of the FBI made his start peddling conspiracy theories for years on the internet.
And that's the ironic thing about Kash Patel. That, like, to me, that's the ironic thing about Kash Patel. He built a career peddling, hey, Jeffrey Epstein, there are all these names on the list, blah, 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 blah. Now you're the FBI director. You are in charge. You are in charge of releasing the files. And you're going to tell me that there's no credible evidence to suggest anybody got trafficked to anybody. So you convicted Jeffrey Epstein. You could convicted Ghislaine Maxwell, both of whom didn't commit any crimes. That doesn't make sense. And you got all these people all these young women who were trafficked and abused, who are saying, like, no, we'll release the names. But there was nobody, like that's the part I don't get. There's so much surrounding this that just does not make sense to me. And I feel like the same thing when I heard about, like, the JFK and the magic bullet, right? Like, bullets don't zig and zag like that. That doesn't happen.
This isn't wanted.
Yeah. So the official narrative, and again, I'm speaking from my own personal experience.
Yeah.
I know firsthand that the official police narrative is not always accurate or true. And so there's a lot of questions that I have that I know that I'm not going to get answered, that I'm just like, it's something else going on.
Because at the end of the day, the mighty dollar rules the day. So that's how this world is run, from here to Timbuktu and beyond. That mighty dollar controls a lot of things. So
it's just never been so obvious before. I think people are really starting to see that. It's never been so blatant. And it's never been like we're seeing grifting from our federal officials in the public. It's always happened, but, like, this is pretty absurd.
I think for white America, I don't even want to say white America. I think for America, it's like, oh, wow, I can't believe all this is happening. For some people, this has been their experience in America, and we have been ringing the bell trying to get everybody to see here and understand that
think about this. Yeah, think about this, right? This whole, and best believe I've been on X, and you be seeing it. I go back and forth with these people about Charlie Kirk and his beliefs and things like that, and them trying to proclaim Christ on him and all of this, like he wasn't some ways that I wasn't a fan of, which isn't Christ connected to me, but they want you to feel a certain way when this has been the history of our people, from Medgar Evers to
you guys want to know what Charlie Kirk sells than anybody else better? That white people shouldn't be poor. That's what the Conservative Party sells. That white people shouldn't be poor.
White people here.
I know. It's
always been poor white people.
Oh, no. I'm not saying there aren't. I'm just saying that they sell this narrative that they shouldn't be. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's capitalism. It's capitalism. In order for capitalism to exist, it's a pyramid. You see this? This is the top 1% right here. In order for this to exist, there has to be a larger foundation of all of us. Do you get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like,
and
this is why I steer people towards issues of class. This is more of a class struggle and class issue than anything else.
Agree. Yeah. And it's something that I'm happy that's in the conversation, because we see it with the Jimmy Kimmel situation. Is perfect to let you know we've been knowing what's going on. It's time for everybody else to know. And now what's next? So we're going to see what happens there. So let's move on. We got to talk about one final thing. We're in a different time, Elam. Like the time of our parents and things like that, how the world works is clearly different. As you know, you have streaming platforms. It's not just going to the movies to watch all your favorite movies. They come to you with streaming platforms. Music, we talk about it all the time. How the music, hell, we just had a conversation about this bot things going on. So has technology helped or truly harmed Hollywood and entertainment and things like that? Because there's some people that's far on one side, and then there's some people that's on the other, and they're like, yo, this is ruining everything. What's your thoughts, E?
I think it's made things far more accessible. So in that regards, it's made products more available, but it's cheapened the products. You know what I'm saying? It's like if I have 10 bricks, but you have 10 bricks, and everybody got 10 bricks, then the market is saturated, you know what I'm saying, with bricks. It's just snow. It's snow in LA, right? But when I have high quality bricks, right, and it takes time to develop, it makes my product that much better, right? And so, like, when you look at movies, man, like, I can't, outside of Sinners, I couldn't even tell you a movie that really came out this year. It's a whole bunch of remakes. There's no real originality anymore. When I listen to music, it's the same thing being put. It all sounds the same. Like the instrumentation is going, right? And there's so much of a demand of putting out more product. Like, bro, did you know Jay Electronica released like three projects this weekend?
No, I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I only saw that because I saw it on Instagram.
Yeah, some of it is his old stuff. On.
It was one thing that was old, but it was two new like small, tidbits. And I'm just like, if this isn't going viral, and if the record company isn't pushing it, then how is this supposed to be heard? And to me, I thought it was good music. It was quality music, right?
Yeah.
That's what's missing in like the music industry. I already said it when it comes to movies. There's no original. There's nothing original. It's a whole bunch of remakes.
Because what's that thing they say? Too much of a good thing can be bad. You know?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
boosts your temp.
So, and it's, if I eat too much of that candy that I love, eventually I'm gonna get sick and be throwing up and things like that. And that's what I think it is. Like bots, um, when it comes to just how Hollywood and everything is working right now, you're giving too much to where at a point, I talk to my bro about hip hop and things like that. I'm like, bro, it's too much. Like you used to can get a movie and sit on that movie and watch it a few times to really dissect it, things like that. The same with music. You used to get it and really can sit back and really enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? But to where now it's new stuff dropping every week to where it's like it's crazy how it kind of programmed people, like myself who be trying to be tapped in and locked in so that I can know what's going on to where, something has to really like if something comes out of movie or music, it has to really be great to make you sit on it. You know what I'm saying? That's how you knew something like Sinners was a really good movie. That's how you knew GNX was a really good album, because even though other stuff was coming out around it, you were going back to be like, I need to tap in and stay locked in with this because I need to decipher what's going on here. And having so much technology, it's just harming everything. Even when making the films and stuff like that you see that they can't even replicate some of the greatness of the old days, like Star Wars, which came out in the 80s. They haven't been able to really top the original three, and it would happen so long ago, even with so much technology. So I just think that people have to try to find the balance. I've been telling you all day, if I was a big artist, if I was the Drake, Kendrick Lamar, or somebody like that, I'm like, bro, I'm not putting myself. Like, y'all gonna go out and buy my CDs. We're gonna take it back because I can see real numbers. I can, know who is buying it, how much I really sold, to where nowadays you can just bot things up, and that dictates numbers, and that dictate what's being played on the radio, what people are talking about on social media, to where now it's like touching people's mind and pretty much thinking for them, to where you don't even get real thoughts from people anymore. Chat GBT is horrible. Kids don't even do homework no more. They just go and let the robots think for them, and they got an essay.
You know what's crazy? It really it reminds me of like going to my grandma's house, right? Like my grandma didn't have no microwave. If I wanted something, she had to get the pots, get the pans, warm everything up on the stove, put stuff in the oven, and it just tasted different, right?
Facts, yeah.
Now we live in an environment, we live in a time to where it's like, I'm hungry right now. Let me just go on and throw this in the microwave. It's hot, but it don't taste the same, right? That's what's happening just in entertainment, like altogether. We live in a digital world, but we crave like the analog feeling. And in order to get that, we got to go back to like the analog. You know what I'm saying? Like we need real instrumentation in the studio with the artist to create the feeling, the ambiance. It's crazy because I was talking to Mr. Freeman last Thursday, matter of fact, at the Rams facility, and I was telling him there's no soul in music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not in R&B, not in hip hop. There's no
not
soul.
in the movies.
There's no soul. There's no soul. And so I think it's very emblematic of like the current state, bro. Like our country is in, our culture is in, the world is in. It's just no soul, bro. It's no soul.
So we gotta find some soul, and we trying to bring that to you and give you soul that you need to set your week off right here with the Misfits. It's been a fun one. We had a few, we're the greatest duo in the world, the greatest tag team. I figured I'm Shawn Michaels and you Sid Vicious. Did that work for you? Something like that. But we had interference coming in, people jumping in the ring. Shout out to our guy, producer Ben. But it was a fun one tonight, man. And it's a lot more we have to talk about. That's why you want to be tapping in to the Misfits Live, because we have a lot to talk about that we know that you're going to enjoy or you're going to hate it, but we want to debate it. There I go rhyming again. But, hey, it's fun time.
Hey, if this your first time tuning in, this dude right here is a legit spitter. For like the past 2-3 years, I've been telling this dude, hey, you need to do a mixtape. He keeps saying, "Oh, I'm gonna hop in the studio."
Nice. I'm too nice. They're gonna have to kill me, man.
Listen to me. I'm gonna tell you why Mykell is not. He's not a man of his word. Mykell owes me a beard. He was supposed to shave his beard.
I did. This
No,
is
you
fake.
didn't.
I just reattached it.
Mykell was supposed to shave his beard over a bet, and he still hasn't done it. So
these
the only bars you're gonna get here on the Misfits.
Hey, we're gonna do the Misfits mixtape. Myself and Elam. I'm gonna be his ghostwriter, and we're gonna come out with a classic.
I got a nice little pen.
Okay, all right. He got the pick. All right, so we're gonna do it. We're gonna call it from the Misfits live from South Central to Watts. It's gonna be the project we working on. So if you got beats, send it to us. Hit us up on Instagram. We ready to make you a legend with our flows and with our writtens. Shout out Cardi B. She's still out there doing it. But you know, I could talk about that another time. Hey, tap in the Mykell Mathieu show. New episode dropped today. Go and check it out. I had a lot to talk about, but fun times, Elam. Get the final words, man. Get us up out of here.
Hey, that's Mykell the PG. Check him out everywhere on social media. Mykell Mathieu, MLB Bros, the Sporting Tribune, Culver City Observer, FI 360. Everywhere you want to be, he's like Visa. I'm your guy, right. Eric Lambkins II, Elam Squared. You can catch me on all social media platforms. I have a show that I just haven't done in like 2 months. I know I've been slacking on my Mackin, but Raw's not what I lack. But we are the Misfits, where we encourage you not to fit in, find a way to stand out. Hopefully, if this is your first time watching the show, you see this is something different. We're going to talk about everything, right? Come here to learn, come here to laugh, cry. We make you mad. If I trolled you on social media, hey, it brought you here, right? But until next week, we are the Misfits.
Hey, next week, make sure y'all be ready. We got the great debate. What was the better meat for your sandwich, bologna or salami? I hope y'all ready for that, baby.
Come on, man. Salami, not even a question. Get out of here.
Man, you crazy. Bologna all day. Let's get up out of here.